Top three there, all in the starting lineup tonight. Aiden Shaw, by the way, we hear he put on 15 pounds of muscle, just a beast in the weight room over the offseason, and Missouri excited to see the results of that work pay off tonight. But it is the start of a long basketball season that Mizzou hopes ends in the program's first ever Final Four this spring, and they have not been bashful about stating that as their expectation and their goal this season. Nice crowd, packed student section, a lot of energy in the building tonight at Mizzou Arena as we tip off our 10th basketball season doing this together, Sut.
So exciting. Opening night, you just feel the adrenaline, feel the energy.
And we are underway on Norm Stewart Court. Missouri with the ball to start things out against the Arkansas Pine-Bluff Golden Lions. You see Jesus Carolero Martin in the starting lineup with the first touch. One of those 11 newcomers, as that is the way it is in college basketball now.
Absolutely. For Missouri, 7 different Tigers are in their 5th year of college basketball. 9 players have appeared in the last 50 games, so experience mattered for Coach Gates identifying this roster this year.
And there's Sean East with the first bucket of the season, a three-pointer for the JUCO transfer. Here is the starting lineup, for the Arkansas Pine-Bluff Golden Lions. 21 losses a year ago. They've got a lot of new faces, but some top returners as well. And Joe French is a transfer from Bethune-Cookman, who was one of the top players in the SWAC for the past 3 years.
Yeah, Joe French can really shoot. He shot 41% from 3 a year ago. He can really shoot it. Missouri's going to have to find him.
That was Ishmael Plett down low. Tigers force the turnover and then pick up a foul on the other end. That putback by Caleb Grill does not count as the foul was called on the drive. Jared, here's the starting lineup for Mizzou, and this is going to be a fluid situation during the month of November. So many different experienced players from across college basketball along with the returners. This 5 could change.
Yeah, absolutely. It changed a lot last year too, but Missouri going small with their starting lineup. Caleb Grill, an excellent shooter, will probably fill in that Demoy Hodge role. Really good spot shooter, great in transition, shooting the ball. But how about tonight, Nick Honor, Sean East starting together. So many times last year was Nick Honor or Sean East as the primary ball handler. Now Sean East, the starting 2-guard, hits a 3 that first possession.
There's Grill, his first look in a Tiger uniform. It's off the mark. And the rebound by Kylan Milton, who is the top returning scorer for this UAPB Lions team. Milton drives and kicks. There's Rashad Williams, a newcomer, blocked. It ends up in the hands of Lonnell Martin, who's guarded closely by Sean East and now forced into another turnover. Travel.
Excellent defensive possession right there. Missouri right there, that energy on the defensive end, switching, everybody locked in, everybody communicating. Great defensive possession right there for Missouri.
Solomon Bozeman in his second season at Arkansas Pine-Bluff, a former Oral Roberts assistant coach. And he's got a lot of newcomers. He's trying to blend with several returners as the Golden Lions try to respond to a 21-loss season, and Sean East is 2 for 2.
2 for 2, and if you go under that ball screen, Sean East has a ton of confidence to step back and shoot that. He is a much improved 3-point shooter. He wanted to show that early on. He got 2 great looks with screens, defender going underneath, and he steps back and pops the 3.
Martin gets the bucket to go. Oh, that was Joe French, pardon me, on the kick by Martin.
That's great stuff from Joe French. That's a shooter's mentality to fake coming off of the staggered screen and flare to the corner. Caleb Grill turned his head, wide open spot 3 for Joe French.
Baseline jumper for Honor goes down.
And Nick Honor, that's just to bring back the experience at point guard. He's so under control. He's the top player in the SEC in terms of assist to turnover ratio returning to this club. He's so good with the basketball, makes great decisions. And right there, excellent shot fake, got a defender off his feet and shoots a little mid-range pull-up.
Fordham to Clemson, and now his second season at Mizzou. Nick Honor had that big shot against Mississippi State late in the regular season last year. Pull up for Williams, that's no good. He might be a familiar name to some folks. Spent 1 season at St. Louis U 2 years ago. There's Carter.
Noah Carter, footwork, do your work early. Great post positioning, great read of the defender with a baby hook over the top. And look at Mizzou Arena, it's electric early on here through the first 3 minutes.
10-3 run to start the game for the Missouri Tigers, and a timeout called by Arkansas Pine-Bluff and Solomon Bozeman. His counterpart tonight, Dennis Gates, his second season at the helm, led Missouri to its first NCAA tournament win in 13 years. You were in uniform the last time Missouri had won a game in March Madness until last March in Sacramento when the Tigers beat Utah State.
Yeah, just so happy for Coach Gates, the success he had in year 1, knowing the challenges early on when you take over a program, but he knows how special this place is. That is something we talked about a lot with Coach Gates before this game and did such a great job last year. More to come from Coach Gates this year.
And you look at how well his energy, his coaching ability, and his personality have translated to wins the last 3 seasons as he's led first Cleveland State and now Missouri. And there's the banner that they unveiled for the 2023 NCAA tournament. And you know, it's hard to put a finger on what it is that has drawn the Mizzou fan base to Dennis Gates so quickly and so fully, but this fan base loves this coach.
Yeah, I think it's his demeanor. We saw that last year. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He's even-keeled. Whether that's in victory or defeat, he always stays the same. And he really demands of his players, but his players love playing for him. And I think that's something that doesn't need to be said as much as it does, because he's someone that really brings out the best in his players. You saw that last year, taking Kobe Brown, first-round pick, a guy that came back and improved his three-point percentage. D'Moy Hodge, look what he did as a three-point shooter. He developed those players' games, but he developed them as people as well, to see their confidence grow and grow. And that's something that Coach Gates just does such a great job of. He motivates really well. He's instilled a culture. He's instilled a philosophy. They're going to play fast. They're going to defend. They're going to get after you. Look at this full court pressure. They're going to force steals. The big thing and emphasis this year for Coach Gates, rebound the basketball. And that's something he identified.
And an offensive foul called on Robert Lewis, the sophomore from St. Louis, back in his home state.
That's experience right there from Sean East. Ben knows the screen's coming and just really got clipped up there.
His hip in there, didn't he?
Lean a little bit, knows it's coming. He's aware that they work on this in practice all the time. That's something that benefits going hard in practice, going full speed, having reps where you're full court press, full court trap, really get that experience for games.
Nice cut, East, the up and under layup on the feed by Carolero.
Great pass by Carolero, great finish from Sean East. Sean East off to a great start, really taking what's given to him offensively.
Missouri's defense forcing another turnover, and they've got numbers if they push. Transition 3, no good from Nick Honor. Carolero tried to corral that offensive board, but it'll go back to the Lions.
I mean, look how hard Missouri's playing right now. That's something Arkansas Pine-Bluff is going to have to match at some point. The energy, the toughness level, the competition part of this, Missouri is taking the fight right now to Arkansas Pine-Bluff. That's a great cut right there by Sean East. Overplayed, just hit a couple threes, cut back door, gets a wide open layup, and that's something that the offense can really bring out for players. Is it's going to be open. You're going to have that freedom of movement. Coach Gates does not want you to be a robot, but you got to move. You can't stand. You got to be active on that offensive end.
Missouri 5 for 7 from the field to start the game. 2 assists on their first 5 made field goals. There's a foul called on the drive by Martin. It's going to be Carolero picking up the foul. That's his first.
I love what we're seeing right now. Missouri went small with their starting lineup, but on the defensive side, they're switching everything, and they are low in a stance. They are prepared and ready. You think that they've been going against each other for a long time. They've been ready for a game. You can see it right now through these first 4 minutes.
Caleb Brown checks in for Carolero. It's something that Dennis Gates expects to stay up and the effort to never drop off, because it's a Missouri team that we expect to see a lot of these players in there tonight. It's a Missouri team that could very easily, as there's a turnover on the inbound, have a 10 to 11 player rotation. He's really focusing, he being Dennis Gates, focusing his coaching on his players on what's your per minute output, not your per game output.
Yeah, you got to bring value to the floor. You got to be productive with your minutes. You can't have empty minutes. That was stressed last year with that team. And Coach Gates had different starting lineups. He had different lineup rotation, personnel changes throughout a game, and every game was different. And that's all scouting, and that's all the analytical mind of Dennis Gates as well.
Honor draws a blocking foul on the drive, and that will be the 3rd team foul on Arkansas Pine-Bluff. 4 minutes into this one, Missouri's got a 9-point lead. Fast and furious to start this one, Jared.
Fast and furious, great ball movement. The spacing has been great offensively. Defensively, it's been great. How about Noah Carter with the soft touch? Missouri leading early.
Missouri shot out of a cannon to start this one, Jared. 4 turnovers forced already, a 12-3 run to start this game.
Yeah, it's been a great start for Missouri. They've done a great job of speeding up the tempo. Arkansas Pine-Bluff is back on their heels. You look at the numbers from last year. Missouri was hectic defensively. They were everywhere. D'Moy Hodge led the SEC in steals per game. Felt like they were forcing so many turnovers. They played small times, but they had the physicality with Kobe Brown on the interior and Noah Carter. This year, the more the emphasis is the size. They went out and they identified that in their personnel and the players they brought in, whether it be the freshmen or whether the transfer portal, but really did a nice job of identifying size. They want to rebound the ball better this year, and they have that with the bodies they brought in.
They are already flexing that defensive will. But there's some of the rim protection that's not in the lineup tonight. About an hour and a half before tip-off, it was revealed that 7'5" transfer center Connor Vanover will miss the first 3 games of the season, including obviously tonight. He played in an event called the Portsmouth Invitational last spring, which is for draft-eligible players only. Because of that, he'll miss the first 3 games of the season. But when he gets into the lineup, and that should be November 16th at Minnesota, he brings more of that defensive help.
No question. Shot making, rebounding, rim protection. Those are the 3 things for Connor Vanover. And, you know, this is a player that was the defensive player of the year in the Summit League, newcomer of the year, first team all-league, averaged close to 13 points a game, 7 rebounds and 3.5 blocks. So that's the activity that Connor Vanover can bring, and he can stretch it from 3. So you're adding size around the paint, rebounding the ball, rim protection, and then you can space it, and that's how Dennis Gates wants to play. 5 out, let your bigs be able to shoot the basketball. It's a modern-day offensive philosophy. All 5 guys on the floor have to be a threat to shoot, dribble, and pass. Skill is a big part of Coach Gates' offense. That's something he's stressed. So Connor Vanover will bring that once he's ready to go.
The first freshman off the bench for Missouri is Anthony Robinson II, who gives Nick Honor a spell and is guarding Ware. Corner 3 for French, and French is 2 for 2.
Yeah, you got to find him. Connor French can really shoot that same spot. Hit his first 3. A little bit of a breakdown there from Noah Carter, not knowing where the shooter is.
Only the second bucket for Pine-Bluff in the early going, and now another foul will be the 4th team foul on the Golden Lions.
Right here you see just a hammer pass to the corner. Noah Carter's got to read that rotation. He's up too high. He's got to drop to the baseline and find the shooter. Just a baseline drive, hammer pass to the corner. That's a design play, too, from Arkansas Pine-Bluff to get their shooter a shot. Noah Carter's got to see that.
Sean East had a hard time getting the ball in, but he finds Robinson, and there's Caleb Brown. His first touch of the season, 3rd season in the program. The younger brother of Kobe Brown, playing for the Clippers tonight. Good save in front of the bench by Grill. And now late in the shot clock, East on the drive, gets to the cup.
Great patience from Sean East to really stretch out. That's the spacing for Missouri. So good there for Sean East to use a little hesitation and attack. Strong hand, great body control in the finish. And a nice job from Missouri, not taking a bad shot. Just stay within the structure of your offense and have your primary ball handler attack the paint and get a layup out of it.
French straight away with 15 to shoot. Over into the corner. First chance for Milton, and he hits.
And that's a good closeout by Caleb Brown, but you're late. And that's something that Missouri's going to have to identify is shooters. UAPB can really shoot the basketball. You got to find shooters.
How about the way East is getting to the rim? He's attacking.
Bringing a ton of energy. And it's not just offensively. He's making shots, but he's doing it defensively. And this is exactly what he did last year. That's why he's starting tonight. He's bringing that leadership and that veteran presence to this lineup. A great spin. Again, under control with the ball, creating contact, not avoiding the contact, going with the left hand, and staying with the play, too. He's right there for an offensive rebound if that doesn't fall.
So East with his first trip to the free throw line. 83% foul shooter a year ago. And 1 for 1.
You talk about a guy that just excelled and embraced his role last year. So many times coming off the bench, but led Mizzou in assists in 12 games last year. So he's coming into the game off the bench, making an impact, making a difference. Hit 17 points on the road and wins at Wichita State and at Tennessee. Those are 2 big wins at 2 different critical moments in the season. Sean East was huge for this team off the bench, and he's going to have more of an advanced role to showcase that offensive skill set this year, and he's doing that in the first half with tremendous confidence. That's what I love about Sean East. He's attacking, playing hard, and everything is coming to him. He's not forcing. He's not going to get the game. He's letting the game come to him.
He's got 12 of Missouri's first 18 points, and he's not leaving the game.
And he's perfect from the field. It's just a great night so far to start for Sean East.
There's a foul on Robinson. And I point out staying in the game because that's something that Dennis Gates points out. With so many different players to get into the rotation, he wants everybody emptying the tank every single time they're in the game, and he doesn't want them raising a hand to come out until they are completely drained.
And I think that's what's great about the starting 5 that set the tone right away. And I think it's strategic from Coach Gates to go to Anthony Robinson, a freshman, someone that they identified as a captain as a freshman. They love this kid, and they want to put him on the floor with Sean East. Anthony Robinson is going to learn so much this year from Sean East, from Noah Carter. Why not put your freshman on the floor immediately, give him that confidence, and then look at him and Sean East already talking. Anthony Robinson got a tough foul, but he's looking right at Sean East every time. That's great leadership and mentorship right there.
That last foul was on East, his first, and the team's 3rd. Grill couldn't quite snag that steal, and Pine-Bluff will inbound again from under their own basket. Oh no, it is Missouri's ball.
Yeah, I think he might have adjusted it there.
So it's Caleb Brown, Anthony Robinson, the freshman from Tallahassee, with the ball now. Sean East, Aiden Shaw, who just checked in, and Caleb Grill on the floor for Missouri. Ware, Milton, Williams, Lewis, and French for Pine-Bluff. And a blocking foul called as they were just hounding Aiden Shaw in the corner.
Yeah, right there. So Aiden Shaw just checks in the game. He gets a touch right there. They're trying to run a play, and a lot of pressure right there from Aiden Shaw. It's got to be the low man right there. Anthony Robinson leading the break, though, right there as a lead guard, putting Sean East off the ball. You know, a guy that's got a high basketball IQ, long, athletic point guard, balanced scorer, passer. It's great to see him bringing the ball up there for Missouri as a freshman.
And now they're going to take a look and review that last play to see if an elbow got up. That foul that was called on the floor is a blocking foul, which would be the 16th foul on Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Less than 6 minutes into this one.
I think with Arkansas Pine-Bluff, what you've seen over the last few minutes is they're playing much harder on the defensive end. They're getting into the body, and right there, that's Lewis. Active feet, pressure in the basketball, and a lot of elbows being thrown around right there from Aiden Shaw.
I didn't really see any contact,
above
the collarbone.
And the bump right there at the end is the foul.
And that foul that was called on Lewis would be his second if it remains as called on the floor. Common foul is the call.
And right there, if you're Aiden Shaw, you take that dribble baseline. You don't have anything. Don't pick up the dribble right there. Keep that dribble the ball out right there. Just not great spacing right there. Caleb Brown came over to post up, try to have a release valve there, but you're too tight. You're right there on the sideline. You're back on your heels. You're not in triple threat position. Don't pick up that basketball in that spot.
Tamar Bates just into the game, the Indiana transfer from Kansas City, Kansas. His first touch in a Missouri uniform. He's happy to be back close to home. Nick Honor back into the game. Running the show for Missouri. He drives on Ware, gets cut off, needs a release, finds Robinson to beat the shot clock buzzer off the back iron. But look at Aiden Shaw track down that offensive board.
That play right there is going to earn him more and more minutes. If he goes and does that consistently, he's going to be on the floor a lot for Missouri and Dennis Gates. That's exactly what Coach Gates wants to see out of him. Go use your athleticism, go chase that offensive rebound.
Tigers late in the shot clock again. Step back three, Caleb Brown, no good. Another offensive board. And now Honor. And that one's hauled in by Kylan Milton.
Ben, we talked to Dennis Gates, and he said Aiden Shaw is probably a top 5 vertical athlete in college basketball. He is so explosive with his verticality. Last year he showed flashes, but he can do so much more with that athletic ability.
Another three for French, and that is keeping Pine-Bluff in this ball game. It's down to just a 6-point Missouri lead.
That was deep too. Contested three, but you've got to deny that passing lane to a shooter. Joe French got a lot of confidence seeing those first 3 threes go through.
Missouri at the elbow for Brown. Quick, aggressive drive by Honor to the cutting Aiden Shaw for the stuff.
That's such a great play by Nick Honor to shot fake baseline and just create off the bounce. He's not overly explosive, but he's strong. He's got a low handle, low center of gravity, and just playing off of 2 feet, playing off a jump shot, and a great cut by Aiden Shaw for the dunk.
Penetrating kick to Milton for 3. Got it, and the foul on Brown. And Arkansas Pine-Bluff, after a slow start, is heating it up from the outside.
Missouri right now over-helping, and you want to protect that paint, but once that ball is swung, you got to be on the move quickly. Arkansas Pine-Bluff can really shoot it, playing with a ton of confidence. It's a tough shot. Nothing but the bottom of the nylon. A little late on the closeout from Caleb Brown, and you got to be under control. You got to chop your feet, high hand. You don't want to give up the 4-point play.
That is the 5th three-pointer by Arkansas Pine-Bluff. They're 5 for 7 from the field, and that is how you stay in the game on the road when you're the SWAC school in the SEC building.
And that's all their points. It's 15 points, 5 threes. I mean, they've done a nice job of sticking to what they do offensively, and they want to shoot the ball. That's their offense. They want to find threes. They know Missouri's been pressuring the ball, but the energy level has gone up for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. They're starting to move the ball a little bit more, finding that consistency offensively and finding that aggressiveness and assertiveness. Joe French leads them. He's going to be a guy that shoots the ball every time he touches it. Same with Milton. He's a very good player, a guy that can stroke from 3, a guy that can put it on the floor and get to the rim as well. Both those guys preseason all-conference players. Missouri's got to identify those 2.
Milton averaged 13 a game last year for Pine-Bluff, and Missouri goes back to nearly their starting lineup, plus Tamar Bates, who has his first three-pointer as a Missouri Tiger.
And that's a guy Mizzou fans should be very excited about. Tamar Bates, great athlete, shot 37% from three at Indiana, was second on their team in three-point percentage. He can make shots, he's versatile defensively, great athlete, can play in transition. He was such a great ad for Dennis Gates. He's gonna help this team this year.
Ware driving on East. That bounced off 3 or 4 different players, and the call is Missouri basketball. Arkansas Pine-Bluff only has 1 2-point field goal attempt.
Yeah, and really it's three-point shooting for Arkansas Pine-Bluff and limiting turnovers. They continue to turn the basketball over. That's 6 turnovers now for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. But again, a lot of that is Missouri's activity. They've done a really good job protecting the paint. That's an emphasis. They got to get out to shooters a little bit faster, but a really good start from Missouri on defense. Arkansas Pine-Bluff has made some tough shots.
Look at how fast and snappy this Missouri half-court offense is, especially when Otter's in there.
That is such a low pass. And that's his second time he's hit a backdoor pass. And that is a tight window for Calero to find that, and a great finish there from Noah Carter on the reverse. That's a tough pass. Great offense. Again, the spacing, playing through the elbow, playing through the high post. Really good passing and sharing of the basketball, that unselfish nature from Mizzou.
And a push off and an offensive foul called on Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and that will take us to our second break of the night. Missouri fans excited to see what number 23 can bring in his second season, and he's already brought the thunder in the first 10 minutes of this one. Aiden Shaw strong to the rack, and Missouri has a 9-point lead midway through the first half of the first game of the season. Game of the season on the SEC Network. The 12th ranked Ole Miss Rebels hosting Oklahoma at the Pavilion in Oxford. Great early season test for the Rebels. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, Thursday night right here on the SEC Network and streaming on the ESPN app. We are approaching the midway point of this one. Opening night at Mizzou Arena. Missouri with a 9-point lead. Getting a lot of what they'd like to see out of this long bench, very deep team, especially Shawn East.
Yeah, Shawn East has been great. 12 points here to start. 4 for 4 from the field, and look what the other team is doing for Missouri. But really, I think it comes down to turnovers. Missouri's forced 7 turnovers, and they haven't turned the ball over once. Both teams have 5 assists. Missouri's gone inside. They've made threes. They've cut backdoor. Their offensive efficiency's been very good because they're scoring in multiple ways. They made threes early. Now they're starting to cut backdoor, get to the basket. They're playing through the elbows. They're playing through the blocks. 10 points in the paint for Missouri. None right now for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Missouri's done a nice job of taking turnovers to offense. 9 points off turnovers. So Missouri doing a really good job on both ends.
Another great baseline cut, heavily contested, the block by Kylan Milton on Noah Carter.
It's a big-time block. Great timing, great anticipation. Missouri's already ran that play a couple times. Milton saw that coming and was able to get off and help side and do a great job of protecting the rim, coming over. Secondary block from the weak side and gets all ball right there. Great cut, though, by Noah Carter. Another great pass by Calero, but right there at the top, right above the rim. Great anticipation, great timing. That's a great block.
Missouri with 18 to shoot. The lob to Calero. Gets his own rebound for a moment. And now Pine-Bluff ends up with it. French, already with 3 threes, gives it up to Ware. Ware guarded by Calero as Missouri switches. And now Ware's in trouble. French with 10 to shoot. Looking for the step back. That's his first miss.
And that was Calero the entire possession guarding the ball.
Honor the other way. Battle for the rebound. Shawn East almost comes out with it, but French has it, and he pushes the other way. Milton's been heating up. Drives on Honor. And now French will reset. Pump out screen for Robert Lewis. French drives, gets it to go.
Good balance right there from French to see Shawn East go by. Knew he had him off the crossover just by a smidge of a step.
Another baseline drive by Missouri. And now a traveling call on Jesus Calero.
Jesus Calero just picked up the foot. A little too fast there. Going a little bit too fast, but you look at what Missouri's done defensively. They've been switching everything, and right here, just a rejected ball screen right here from Joe French. Shawn East got to get in front, got to take angles to beat the ball handler to the rim. Tried to get on the side there. Smart decision by French to body control too, to hang there and finish a tough bucket right there in the mid-range.
Tamar Bates takes a seat.
And this is something, too, that I think Missouri saw in the scouting report. Is Joe French can really shoot it, but can he put the ball on the floor, get to the paint? Right there, that was a great decision in the ball screen, seeing Missouri, how they were in coverage in the ball screen, able to reject it and get to his spot on the floor.
Grill came in to replace Tamar Bates. So Missouri with their original starting 5 back on the floor as French left that one a little short. And a foul over the back on Ishmael Plett.
Been so impressed with Carolero defensively. Like, just low man, switching. He's down in a stance. When the shot goes up, he's got a high hand. He contests. He doesn't land in the shooter's space with it where his feet are. Just a great closeout. Force a tough shot. And he's done a great job. He's had to switch 1 through 5 for much of this first half, and he's been everywhere, and he's not given up. Dribble penetration. He's kept the ball in front. He's contested without fouling, done a really good job. And then offensively, the passing, the ability to play through him in the blocks, that's a great sign for a guy that was thrown into the starting lineup tonight. He's done a terrific job on both ends of the floor of doing the little things. That's going to show up with Dennis Gates in that film session tomorrow. That
foul on Plett was the 8th team foul on Arkansas Pine-Bluff, so a 1-and-1 for Caleb Grill. He was a 70% foul shooter a year ago. Iowa State transfer, started his career at Iowa State, went to UNLV for a year, went back to Iowa State, and now in a Missouri uniform for his last season of college basketball. And he told me straight up, you mentioned this a little earlier, Caleb Grill wants to be that 3-and-D guy replacement for Demoy Hodge.
And he absolutely can be. He's a very sneaky athlete, Ben. We saw him in warm-ups doing reverse dunks. I mean, he was out here
he's
early,
a leaper.
No warm-up on. He was in his full uniform, and you can see he's very athletic, and he's a strong guard, about 6'3", 6'4". Good athlete, great shooter. Reminder, you know, Caleb Grill hit 7 threes against #1 North Carolina a few years ago and had 7 of those threes. How about one right now?
And there he goes, the kid from Mays, Kansas, Midwestern shooter.
That's deep. That's right on the Norm logo, so I appreciate that. Deep range shooter is going to shoot the ball in transition. Great balance right there on that jump shot. Same mechanics, compact stroke. Really good, consistent stroke right there from Caleb Grill. He's going to hit a lot of those this year for Missouri.
Euro step by Kane McCauley on the other end.
Caleb Grill's going to have the green light too. Similar to Demoy Hodge. If you're running in the floor in transition, give shooters that confidence to go run the floor. You're going to get rewarded with jumpers.
Honor catch and shoot, buries a 3.
I love that Missouri's able to use Nick Honor off the ball. So many times you saw Nick Honor, primary ball handler. A lot of times in this first half, he's been in that left corner making plays off the dribble right there. Takes what the defense gives him. Shot ready off the catch. He can really shoot the basketball himself. Nick Honor, very unselfish player, is a pass-first guard, but he can shoot it as well. Showed it right there.
Hey, how about a shooter? French has cooled since that hot start. Missouri looking to push the 11-point lead. Grill again. He will go to the line as he drew contact, and that might be the 3rd personal foul on Lewis.
I love when Caleb Grill's aggressive. That's a shooter's mentality. When you're in transition, you know you can come behind on the drag. He's got extended range, and UAPB's got to respect that. How about the unselfish little tap pass right there from Calero? I've been so impressed with his unselfishness, but right there, big-time 3 from Honor, and then the swing pass. Again, Calero finding Honor there in the corner for a 3.
And now Grill at the line is 3 for 3 at the stripe. He's also got 3 rebounds and an assist in 7 minutes. This is exactly what Dennis Gates is going to want to see from Caleb Grill.
No question. And the thing about Caleb Grill is he's going to get after it defensively. He's a winner. And he's a guy that's going to put the team first, going to do whatever is asked of him. He's a perfect culture fit for Dennis Gates and what he's building here at Missouri. Comes right in, older player, has a skill set that fits the offense and the philosophy that Missouri wants to play with. He's a great conditioned athlete too. When you're a great shooter, you got to be in great condition. You got to be able to run the floor. You got to be able to defend. You got to play offense. And this team wants to play fast. Coach Gates always talks about putting pressure offensively and defensively. And Caleb Grill fits that model of how Missouri wants to play.
Number 11, Trent Pierce, the 2nd freshman to see the floor in this first half for Missouri. Part of that added height. Baseline drive, and French earns a trip to the foul line.
Right there, teachable moment from Sean East. He wants to play on the side. He wants to force the ball baseline. But right there, you got to somehow get back in front. You want to force right there the help side, not as tight. That's probably Honor needing to step over in that help side gap to try to take away dribble penetration, because Missouri's got to know that's what Joe French wants to do. He wants to get in the gaps. Your help side defense to be able to take away that dribble penetration's got to be there. That's Sean East and Nick Honor having to communicate there to take away that dribble drive from Joe French.
That is the 2nd personal foul on Sean East. Tamar Bates jumps up off the bench, and we will likely see Bates come in and try to keep East out of foul trouble at the next opportunity. Stays in the game for the moment. Carolero, along with Honor, Grill, Pierce, and East as we approach the 8-minute mark in the first half. Honor on the wing. Some help from Carolero. Step back three. And the rebound to Martin.
Coach Gates is always going to test. You can shoot threes in this offense, but you got to take good shots, not quick shots. Shot's got to be a good shot in rhythm. Might have been a little too quick right there from Nick.
I think Grill's going to get a foul blocking out there as we are under 8 minutes to play in the first half. Foul on Grill. We'll wrap it up when we come back. Missouri with the 11-point lead. Back in Columbia, Missouri, opening night of the 2023-2024 college basketball season. And Joe French, he's been lighting it up in the early going, and his coach, Solomon Bozeman, told us, quote, "The kid can really go. I honestly believe he's the best shooter in college basketball." And so far tonight, he's 4 for 7, 3 of 6 from three-point range.
Yeah, right now he's living up to it. And Coach Bozeman was very vocal about Joe French and just his shooting ability and what he's going to bring. Obviously 13 points, 4 of 7 from the field. He's hit 3 threes, 3 of 6. And you know, those shots he's hit so far have been contested, and he doesn't need much space. He doesn't need much room. He's got extended range, and he can shoot the ball off the dribble. So he can shoot the ball off the catch. He can shoot the ball off movement. He can shoot the ball off the bounce. That's really dynamic. But what you're seeing from Arkansas Pine-Bluff is putting the ball in his hands a little bit more, see if he can create his shot off the bounce.
He was on the SWAC all-freshman team 3 years ago, and then averaged nearly 16 a game as a sophomore. As Pierce gets his first block as a Tiger. Grill in transition. The dish to the trailer. Bates. It's knocked out of bounds. Just to finish the thought on French, averaged 16 a game as a sophomore. He was the preseason player of the year in the SWAC going into last season, and an all-conference player.
And I think that's something he wants to prove this year. I mean, he knows he can shoot the ball, but he wants to show more of his ability to score it and be more of a scorer, not just labeled as a shooter, be more versatile on the offensive end for his team, knowing he's going to be able to shoot it off the catch and shoot it off actions, especially when in the half-court running sets, in transition, obviously in the open floor, but then being able to do some things in pick and roll, which we've seen so far in the first half of him rejecting a few ball screens, trying to split some gaps, trying to get to the free throw line, get to the mid-range. He's got to get his body a little bit more contorted to getting into the paint, taking that contact. He's done a good job of keeping his balance, but being able to handle contact is another big important piece of his game this year.
Another free throw for Grill. Preseason all-SWAC second team coming into this year for French. So just picked up his first foul. That was the 10th team foul on the Lions. So Missouri shooting 2 for the rest of the half. And you just saw Grill knock down a couple. And he is now 6 of 7 from the foul line. 9 points for Caleb Grill, second only to Sean East to start this game for Missouri. Nice contest there by Carolero, but the foul and the bucket for Kylan Milton.
Yeah, that's a breakdown there in the ball screen coverage for Missouri. Sean East actually stood up and said something there from the bench, and Claro just late. You wonder if you're in a flat hedge or a hard hedge. You want to know what your coverage is in the ball screen. That's got to be talked out by Carolero on the bottom. So he's going to get subbed out here. It's a mismatch. When you're a guard, Caleb Grill in that situation, he has to understand what the read is. What's the coverage there? And I don't think there was any communication. And Milton gets a free path right to the rim.
So Carolero goes out. Carter comes back in. Milton completes the three-point play. It's now a 10-point ball game in Mizzou Arena. 7:20 and counting to play in the first half. Missouri having a hard time pulling away from UAPB after their fast start. Nick Honor. Now Bates, 12 to shoot. Carter just back into the game. Out to Grill. Fadeaway 3. Rims out. And the rebound by Pine-Bluff.
Right through that possession from Missouri. It's the first possession I've seen from them in the first half where all their cuts, non-scoring cuts. They're not cutting hard in that possession. It's more going through the motions on those cuts. You got to have scoring cut with purpose. Right there, you're going through the actions, the ball swinging around the perimeter. There's no opportunities to make a pass on the interior because you're not cutting hard.
Drive and kick tipped by Missouri, and it'll stay with Pine-Bluff with just 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
Activity's got to continue to pick up from Missouri on defense. That really set the tone to start this first half. They missed a few shots on the offensive end, but their defense was high energy, the pressure they brought, the energy they brought, really did a nice job in the first 5 minutes. They got to find that here through the final 6 minutes of this first half.
French thought about it, instead drives. He's 0 for his last 3 from three-point range. There's Williams. The shot clock was winding down, and Grill just flies in for the rebound and draws a foul on Milton, who's having a hard time getting up.
And those coaches are smiling over there. They're pretty happy right there to see Caleb Grill come from outside of his area and go and crash the glass. Long shots mean long rebounds. That's a back iron missed 3. He goes and grabs that ball with one hand. His physicality, strong guard right there. Didn't find a body, but went to the rim and went to go get that with authority. Great rebound from Caleb Grill.
And now there's a discussion, and it looks like this foul is going to go against Mizzou.
Gates is going to want an explanation as well there.
Grill gets charged with the foul. He also gets his 4th rebound in the first half. He's got 9 points, 6 of his 9 from the foul line in 9 minutes, and now there's going to be another review of this.
I think Coach Gates was asking for a review there as well.
Here's another look at it. Grill right at about the SEC logo as the shot went up. And it looked like he was the one who was undercut, but maybe they're looking at Nick Honor throwing his hip into Milton a little bit there.
Yeah, I was going to say, they called the foul on Caleb Grill. I could see a Nick Honor foul there of just sliding underneath because, and that's what they're going to adjust there.
Yep, Nick Honor gets charged with the foul, and that's important for Missouri because that would have been Grill's 2nd. Instead, it's Honor's 1st, and Grill still only has 1 foul.
It's a good idea from Nick Honor, right? You want to try to get active and get some physicality and hit someone, but right there you got to see that, you know, there's a cut coming to the glass. There's a charge. You got to get there early, slide your feet, move those hips, and try to get your lower half in front to have a certified box out. Right there, you're just trying to make up for not catching that box out early enough. It's a little tough. It's a long shot. You're in the middle of an exchange on the weak side. So just a tough moment right there from Nick Honor to get a tough foul.
Front end of the 1-and-1 goes down for Milton. He's got 11 points now, and he is, I mentioned earlier, the top returning scorer for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. He was also 3rd in the SWAC last year with 129 assists. And that's part of why he's preseason first team all-conference, as he hit both free throws.
Yeah, he's got great positional size, but you mentioned the passing. He can really play make. That's where he really is comfortable. He's another pass first, create for others type of guard, but he can score it. We saw him hit a 3 earlier. He can really get to the rim, but he wants to facilitate and make plays off the bounce for others.
Battle for a loose ball there, and it's a foul on Noah Carter for Missouri, as the entry pass by Grill was tipped. And for Carter, that is his 1st. And Missouri now with 19 fouls, so the Tigers already in the double bonus. The Lions will be in the double bonus on the next Mizzou foul. We've still got 6 minutes and 12 seconds to play in this first half.
And Ben, UAPB has done a really good job of getting more pressure and picking up right when that ball crosses half court. They've extended that defense. They're getting more into the body of Missouri. Missouri's trying to go through their offense, trying to get the ball to the high post. And UAPB is making that adjustment. They're trying to take away that pass. They're putting more ball pressure on the lead guard, making it more difficult for Missouri to swing the ball within their offense.
Kane McCauley, who is a 6th-year player, a JUCO transfer from Nova Southeastern in the state of Florida. One of the things you front end, but not the back end of the 1-on-1.
One of the things you want to see from Missouri is attack that pressure. Don't be back on your heels. You're trying to run a set. You can't make a pass. Dribble into it. Get some movement going. Go and screen away. Get some more action and movement off the ball.
Shawn East back into the game with 2 fouls. He feeds Carter, who gets the roll.
It's a great low post move. It's an older veteran move too. Isolation, 1-on-1. Noah Carter's really good with his back to the basket in terms of feel. He understands where the defender is. He's under control. He can shot fake. Right there, great touch to have that soft bounce.
Euro step by Milton, and he draws the foul on Bates and earns a trip to the line.
It's a great Euro step. Really good job of selling the change of direction and the change of pace to create that foul. It's in the open floor, and Tamar Bates sliding over, and just a really good move, a good play. Tamar picking up the foul there, but excellent change of direction, change of pace, slowing yourself down, slowing your speed down. We just touched on the playmaking of Milton. He's really good off the dribble, very dynamic when he can get to the lane. Really under control, great poise, but really good in terms of creating separation.
Just an 8-point game after Milton hits the first of 2 free throws. First personal foul on Bates. Second one missed, and there's Shaw with a rebound.
Right now, Missouri's got to have a good offensive possession. It feels like they're going stagnant on the offensive end. They got to find a good play here, good set. They hit Noah Carter on that post up. Previous possession, have a good set, get a good shot.
Carter with the open 3, wide left. Chance to cut it to 6 or 5. Grill thought he had a steal, but a foul called on Shaw beforehand.
Aiden really doing a nice job of picking up there, but just using those hands a little too much.
For Shaw, that's his first foul. And it's a 2-shot foul with Pine-Bluff now in the double bonus. Milton with 13 points. He and French both with 13. It was tied for the game high, now 14 for Milton. He is 6 of 7 at the line.
Right now it's Milton and French right now, that offense, and Milton gone to the line in the last few possessions, so settling in to their offense and really doing a nice job of weathering the storm from that first 5 minutes to claw their way back, and now here within 6.
These two teams are combined 20 for 23 from the foul line in this first half. Baseline cut by Grill, pass deflected, pinballs around into the hands of Milton. A chance to cut into the 6-point lead. Missouri's led by as many as 13. Milton driving on Shaw. Veteran versus sophomore there. French now with 10 to shoot will reset. Veteran versus veteran here. Step back on Grill. French can't get it to go, but the offensive board, and out to Williams. French now in the paint, blocked by Shaw. 3-on-3 break. And Missouri will hold up. Shaw in some trouble. Gets it to East, wide open baseline, and East gets fouled on the drive.
It's a great possession from Aiden Shaw defensively to move his feet on Milton, keep the ball in front, doesn't give up anything. He switched out and then closes the possession after an offensive rebound with a great block shot, stays down, got a little bit off his feet, but stays down just enough. High hands, doesn't come out with his hands down, he comes out high hands, doesn't try to overextend, and then blocks the shot at the top of the shot. Great timing, great use of your length, your athleticism. Those type of plays are going to help Aiden Shaw a lot in terms of getting on the floor and impacting the game, because he is so versatile defensively, and that's where he can make such an impact on a game, is how he guards, how he defends, how he rebounds. Obviously, we know what he can do offensively above the rim, but defensively, he can really change the game for Missouri when he's bought in.
The free throw extends the Missouri lead back out to 7 as Carter gets a rest. Carolero comes back in for Missouri. That foul was on Linnell Martin, and it was his 3rd. As Missouri gets both of the free throws. Arkansas Pine-Bluff doesn't have a field goal in the last 3 minutes and 9 seconds. They've gotten back into this game at the foul line. Yeah, and that's a sign from Missouri to keep defending without fouling. And long shots are going to mean long rebounds. Everybody's got to go box out. That would have been a 3 from Rashad Williams, but he stepped out. Back heel on the out-of-bounds line. Yeah, I got to know where you are. And he was coming off a baseline, staggered there, and just didn't get his feet down in time. Sort of a back pedal, and that left foot heel right there on the line. Great call. Did Caleb Grill get off the floor there? I mean, that athleticism is really going to surprise some teams this year. He can really get off the floor. And the motor never slows down. Never. He plays so hard and such a tough kid. Open 3 for Honor. Both these teams have gone cold. I think a foul is going to go against Pine-Bluff. It does, as that was Shaw that hit the floor. Aggressive box out. Another foul on Pine-Bluff. Missouri will shoot free throws when we come back. Well, after a fast start by Missouri, Arkansas Pine-Bluff has clawed their way back into this one, and with under 4 minutes to play in the first half on opening night in college basketball, it's an 8-point Missouri lead. These are the two faces that Missouri fans may miss the most from last year's NCAA tournament team. Kobe Brown and Demoy Hodge, a couple of all SEC level players. who are now in the association.
Yeah, I mean, two great players that Missouri is missing, and you could look at it as these were the two best players Missouri had. Now, you look at the players, Kobe Brown, obviously first-round pick, was third in field goal percentage in the SEC. Demoy Hodge, first in steals, great three-point shooter. But DeAndre Golston, Trago Million, Isaiah Mosley, those guys are all playing professionally overseas as well. So it's not just these two. It's really five guys that left that played at the professional level. But when you do look at Missouri, when you look at this season and where they're going to go this season, I think the coaching staff looks at this as more depth. You don't have to really hone in on just Kobe and Demoy. There's more of a variety of pieces. And Coach Gates has said it. They could have 10, 11 guys that could lead them in scoring.
Here are the newcomers this year. You see Connor Vanover with his back to the camera. We told you off the top he missed the first 3 games of the season per NCAA rules. John Tonje, Tamar Bates, Kurt Lewis among them. Kurt Lewis, the second straight junior college national player of the year to come to Missouri from John A. Logan College in Illinois. Sean East did that a year ago. And we've seen a lot of Caleb Grill in this first half, the Iowa State transfer.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the pieces that have come in, and Jesus Calero has been fantastic as well in this first half. But yeah, Kurt Lewis, John Tonje, we'll see if we see those guys tonight. But you look at Tamar Bates, I mean, a talented kid out of Kansas City, played at IMG Academy. Caleb Grill played for TJ Otzelberger, and that's a name. Desiree Reed-Francois hired TJ Otzelberger at UNLV, great coach, now at Iowa State. Really good pedigree, and really a program that epitomizes toughness at Iowa State. And that's something I think Coach Gates was really intrigued by. Is Caleb Grill's a shooter, he's an athlete, he defends, he's tough, he brings all these traits that you want intangibly for your program. Let's see how these transfers gel together. I mean, this is game 1. There's roles to be had. Obviously, we just touched on Demoy Hodge and Kobe Brown and some of the departing players from last year. There's roles to be earned, minutes to be earned. You're going to do it in practice. You're going to do it in these games early on in the season. There'll be some growing pains. There'll be some adversity. The schedule's tougher, and that was by design for Coach Gates to get these guys in these type of environments where they can grow together.
Well, we're seeing that in this first half. This Arkansas Pine-Bluff team, a good shooting team. They started out hot from the outside. Now they're getting to the basket. 10 of 12 at the foul line. That's what's gotten them back into the game. It's now a 7-point game as Grill goes flying in, draws a foul, and is slow to get up. Now waving off his teammates initially. Wouldn't be surprised if he's feeling that in the lower back after the way he tumbled to the court.
Yeah, it looks like he had his legs kind of taken out from under him and hard fall, maybe on a hip or his lower back.
Here's all this energy, though. I mean, he becomes a whirling dervish out there. He's going to go hard.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's right there on the tailbone. It's not going to. You hope you get your feet underneath you there, but just a little bit off balance and trying to sell that foul there a little bit too. It's good take, good attack to get to the free throw line where he's been quite a bit here in this first half.
He's 7 of 8 at the line now.
This is something too that Dennis Gates touched on then with us, was just always talking about applying offensive and defensive pressure, but they want to shoot a certain percentage from 3, and they want to have those attempts be good shots. They want to have a lot of attempts from 3, and they want to lead the country in free throw percentage. That's a big goal for them, and they obviously want to be a top team in the assist to turnover percentage margin. They were that last year with Nick Honor. They had such a great offense last year. When you look at what the team did, first in three-point percentage in the SEC, 26 nationally, offensively second in assists per game in the league. So really great offense last year. You can expect more of that this year from Missouri and how they want to play.
Carolero with a nice box down to Robinson, the freshman, his second time on the floor, and it's rotated to Honor, who buries the corner 3.
Excellent, unselfish, and you can beat pressure, especially in the open floor, with passing, not just dribbling. Anthony Robinson gives it up, Tamar Bates gives it up, Nick Honor ready in the corner from 3.
Ware tries to get the step, draws the blocking foul. Are they going to count that?
I think so. Let's see if Calero was in the restricted area or not. That's a part of that call possibly, but also the Euro step right there. Did Carleo stay in front with his feet set? Sometimes on those Euro step, he's outside the restricted area, and yeah, the feet just aren't set. Trying to move his feet there, left ladder, it's a good call.
So Ware with an opportunity to convert a 3-point play. That's his first 2 points of the night. Junior college transfer from Arkansas Baptist College, who scored 18 points against Pine-Bluff 2 years ago. And Solomon Bozeman said, I need to go get that guy.
And that's a great form of recruiting, when you can just go up against an opposing team and identify talent.
That was kind of the way Missouri brought in DeAndre Golston a year ago. Dennis Gates had experience coaching against him in the Horizon League and said, I'd like to have him on my side one day. That's Dre playing overseas professionally.
Absolutely, and how important he was last year for Missouri on a couple buzzer beaters that were critical in Missouri's season.
2 minutes, 48 seconds to play in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll have Jay Billis' preseason essay as we get things going here, tipping off the 23-24 season and the preseason outlook in the Southeastern Conference from our SEC Network studios. Missouri, a team, as you mentioned off the top, Jarrett, picked to finish 11th in this league a year ago, finished 4th, picked to finish 9th going into this season, and ready to prove some more people wrong. And
I think they like that. I think they like being that underdog. I think they like that mentality. I think if you're Dennis Gates and the coaching staff, you want to see that's bulletin board material. You know, that's something you can sell in practice. It's something you can show guys to get them going harder and pushing harder. And you saw what they did last year. I mean, they were not just a surprise in the SEC. You talk to a lot of coaches around the league, and they'll say, look, Dennis Gates is the real deal. He proved that last year. Just so many tactical decisions he made throughout the season. You know, we talk a lot about that season last year, the non-conference slate. They started so well, and a lot of conversation around the competition. Then they played Kansas here, and you thought, man, what's this team going to be? And then they go and win 25 games.
What a crossover and the foul for Tamar Bates.
Great crossover and showing his athleticism and showing his length. He's such a good player off the bounce, good left-hand finish. Obviously, he can shoot the ball, he can defend. But what I love about Tamar is playing off the ball, great attack, use your athleticism, get off the floor before the defender gets over outside that restricted area, leave the floor and sort of twist your body there. Great body control to find that angle and really twist inside, get the finish and the foul. So
he's a guy, remember you told me going back to whenever he made the decision to transfer from Indiana, kind of got stuck behind some guys with the Hoosiers. I'm sure he's here for more playing time, but also really buying into that per minute philosophy. How efficient of a player can you be per minute for Dennis Gates?
Yeah, and you know, at Indiana, it was centered around Trace Jackson Davis, who is now with the Golden State Warriors, and it was so much heavy about getting him the ball on the inside and playing inside out. Tamar Bates, the ball not in his hand a lot in terms of playing in the open floor, was more of a slow, methodical type of offense. Tamar Bates excels in speed. That's how he was at Piper High School in Kansas City. That's how he was at IMG Academy. He shot 40% from 3 at IMG, so he's a very good shooter. He really didn't get to show a lot of that at Indiana. He did shoot 37 from 3, but not a lot of volume there from 3. And you're talking about a Dorena Award winner in 2020 in Kansas City as one of the top high school players, so he could play. He's got game. He needed a change of scenery. It's a transfer and a move that made sense for both parties, both Indiana and Tamar, and now Missouri, because he's a weapon. I think Coach Gates really is going to like how he can impact the game on both ends of the floor. And he's doing a lot here in this game, but the ball's not in his hands. He's playing in the open floor, made some good passes, defending, making a spot shot, and right there the finish and three-point play.
6 points, 2 of 2 from the field. He hit a 3, 1 for 1 at the foul line. And I got the chance to talk to him a couple of weeks ago. You mentioned he's really happy to be close to home.
Absolutely.
He feels like he's where he belongs, and he's excited to start his career over here.
Absolutely. He's bought in, and I think the Big Ten experience for him was good. Big Ten is a physical league. It's a hard-nosed, tough, gritty league. Style of play sometimes can be a little bit more methodical, slow the ball, possession by possession. And I think what the SEC will bring, his ability to showcase his athleticism. And I think that's something Dennis Gates really sold to him, is you're going to be able to play to your athleticism on both ends.
Saw it there, tips his own missing.
Right there, quick twitch. Second jump so elite there. There's a pogo stick off the floor and staying with the play. That reminds me of Damari Carroll. How many times did he do that, where he was just around the rim, using his athleticism, using his body and his length. Great tip in right there.
Well, don't tease me bringing up the junkyard dog. Look at that deflection, the block by Robinson, the freshman. Missouri in transition now will set up in the half court under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
That's a great effort from Anthony Robinson right there to block that shot from behind.
Bates' his second 3.
In rhythm, off the bounce. Defender goes on, he's shaking his head, said, you don't want to give me that shot. That confidence, that rhythm is building. He's having some fun tonight.
11 points now for Tamar Bates, former Indiana Hoosier. His first game in a Missouri uniform. French, the drive. Off glass, can't get the roll. And Missouri looks to expand their largest lead. They're up by 15. Bates all the way.
With the offhand, Ben. Little shake and bake, hesitation, little shimmy to the rim. Slithery to the rim with the right hand off glass. What a finish.
13 points in 11 minutes for Tamar Bates. That's taking advantage of your opportunity.
And everything in rhythm, nothing forced.
Missouri on a 7-0 run under a minute to play in the half. Look at Robinson guarding the veteran French out to another veteran, Rashad Williams, but out of bounds and back to Missouri, and Tamar Bates heating up.
Yeah, Tamar Bates is finding that rhythm, and he's got that wind going. Right there, a defender goes under the screen. There's a late switch. He steps right into his three-point shot with confidence off the bounce. And right here, attacking downhill, using your aggressiveness, using your physicality, go into contact, create your contact, and then the offhand extended finish.
And it's knocked away, and a turnover on the drive by Robinson.
Then Missouri's defense too has picked up a little bit over these last few minutes. Noah Carter, great help side, weak side exchange there. That previous possession, then got out and contested to force a tough shot, but he stopped, dribble penetration, did a great job in help side to get off the ball and get in help side in the weak side gap, and then able to close out hard and contest.
Timeout called here by Missouri. Dennis Gates wanting to make sure that these last 30 seconds of the half are played the way he wants them to. Tamar Bates, when we talked to Dennis on Friday, he mentioned he wanted him to use his energy to create shots for others and then be shot ready when he gets his opportunities. And we've seen that here in this first half.
Yeah, and it's all about simplifying the game. And I think that's something that Coach Gates does a great job of talking through. Yeah, you want to have impact with your minutes, especially defensively with your energy and your rebounding ability, but simplify the game. Don't try to make the game more difficult. Go into the game with some confidence, understand your role, understand what we're trying to do on offense and on defense. But the one thing you love about Tamar Bates is he is going to bring that athletic ability, but you're seeing some toughness out of him too defensively. It's not just the offense, it's what he's doing defensively. He's talking, he's engaged, he's playing with some fire and some passion. And I'll just say it, you don't really see that a lot in his past at Indiana. He was more kind of, I got to play my role, I don't want to make a mistake out here. He's just playing to his strengths, his athleticism, and showing his skill set here in this first game. It's great to see.
It's like a half-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock as French drives. Good defense by Bates there. Now Missouri can get the final shot. Bates in transition. Thought about pulling up. Instead finds Carter. Carter at the horn. Can't get it to go. And Honor almost flew in there and had another chance. But we go to the half. Missouri carries its largest lead of the first half into the break, Jarrett.
Excellent first half for Missouri. A stretch there for Arkansas Pine-Bluff getting back in the game, but Missouri closes strong. 17-point lead at the half.
Missouri on a 7-0 run over the final 2 minutes of the first half, and they are up 57-40 as we go to the break. Tigers hot from the outside, strong defensively, and up by 17 at halftime. Had a couple of rebounds and assists, only committed one foul. And Bates, with those 13 first half points, really helped Missouri provide some separation. But Pine-Bluff was able to cut into an early 13-point Missouri lead, and as I mentioned, got it down to 6 at one point. So this thing isn't over yet. And a hot start to begin the second half where Arkansas Pine-Bluff could get the Lions right back into this one.
There are two pieces that Dennis Gates talked about to have. It's continue to rebound the ball. They were +9, Missouri was on the glass. Did a really good job rebounding, but then also doing a great job protecting the paint. It's something that Missouri's got to do in the second half.
Ishmael Plett was in foul trouble in the first half for Pine-Bluff, and he draws a foul on his first drive. Missouri changes up the starting 5 from the first half to the second half. Aiden Shaw starts the second 20 minutes as opposed to Jesus Carolero-Martin.
And a lot of that is Coach Gates saying, I see you. I see the work you put in that first half. And you know, we talked to Coach Gates about the work Aiden Shaw put in the offseason. Great first half minutes from Aiden Shaw.
And there's a steal right off the bat. Nick Honor finishes almost. Plett the rebound, and now Pine-Bluff with a fast break the other way. Lonell Martin Jr. Flying in there was Milton, and he lands hard. And a foul called on Sean East is his third.
A quick back and forth right there on the missed layup, and once you miss a layup, you can really get exploited in defensive transition. But look at the verticality right there from Kylan Milton to get to the rim. No box out. Using his length there at the rim.
It's 6'4", getting up.
He can really bounce. And he's got a head of steam coming downhill. Missouri They're a little bit out of sorts there in defensive transition because of the missed layup. There's numbers on the other end for UAPB. Mizzou just didn't match up there, and you got to box out when the shot goes up.
Two quick team fouls on Missouri to start the second half. And East now playing with 3 personals.
Extended pressure here from UAPB, something they changed in that mid-first half was applying more ball pressure, more activity on the ball.
Foul on the drive by Carter.
That's on Kylan Milton.
And then we talked about
hey, real quick, sorry to cut you off. That is 4 fouls now on Milton. So 18 points to lead all scorers, but 4 personal fouls.
We talked to Greg Miller Carter, plus 20 in that first half, had 6 points, really productive, really efficient with his minutes, plus 20, really active defensively, did a lot of great things in that first half.
There he is on the block again and bullies his way to the basket.
And it's a mismatch Mizzou exploits with their offensive set. Good find by Sean East. They see the mismatch, they run a design play to get Noah Carter in his sweet spot in single coverage.
Missouri pushes the lead to 18 for the first time tonight. Martin looking to drive on Honor. Honor is just stuck to him like glue. Contested 3 from French. He started 3 for his first 3 and has now missed 5 straight from the outside. And Honor couldn't get it to go. Almost another turnover. Shaw getting on the floor, ripped it away for a moment. And now Plett tried to call a timeout. Instead, it's a jump ball.
If you want to know why Aiden Shaw started the second half, it's activity like that. He did that in the first half, just everywhere. Really good hands, using his length, using his athleticism, getting to the floor, getting the tie-up, getting the possession back from Missouri.
Missouri had the arrow, so they get the possession.
Good activity, trying to go for the steal, but not fouling. Using your instincts and then getting on the floor when that ball gets loose.
East looking to drive. Out to Shaw. He'll drive. Regathered. And is able to score.
It looked like it was deflected.
That was the call from the official. The UAPB bench was screaming for a double dribble, but the ball got deflected in between them.
Off first glance, it did look like a double dribble.
French able to get back in the plus side of the 3-point column.
And as Mark Jackson once said, hand down, man down. You know, right there, French great shooter. Noah Carter's got to have his hand up.
That pass deflected and stolen. French now pushing tempo. 3 from Martin.
This is an emphasis, too, that Coach Gates talks a lot about, rebounding by committee. If you're going to play small, your guards got to rebound. They got to commit to the glass. They got to know who's going to the glass. Sean East right there, physical block out, goes up and gets the ball.
Carter against Plett. Carter. Jump hook there.
And get under control of the block. He's just got such great feel, using his body, using his strength. Not trying to do too much off the dribble and get into a sweet spot, and then using that right hand right over the top of the defender with that soft touch and a quick twitch finish from Noah Carter.
Mar Bates waiting to check back in for Missouri at the next stoppage. We approach the 16-minute mark. Tipped away. Williams ends up with it. Out to French for 3. Rebound by Shaw. That's Shaw's 7th rebound.
Yeah, he's been so active. All the little things right now for Missouri.
Just a wide open lane for Honor in transition.
And Nick Honor going to be happy he got a layup there. He missed a couple layups here early in the second half, right off the front rim, and right there going with the left, going strong to the rim, beating the defense back. Great burst there, great change of pace from Nick Honor.
He's got 12 points now as Honor guards French. French the drive, blocked. We'll give that one to Shaw. Transition 3. And he got the roll.
And there's the friendly roll. There's the friendly roll from Nick Honor on the 3. That soft touch, soft bounce, pulling up in transition. Another deep 3. Nick Honor's got great range. Able to see that ball go through.
He's got 15 and Missouri leads by 24. French driving, knocked away.
Diving is Carter. Bodies on the floor. French up and under. Draws the foul on Shaw.
Great activity, though. Coach Gates will live with that. The effort
He's shaking
everywhere.
his head. He's shaking his head no way at the foul call. But that will take us to the under 16 timeout.
Missouri doing a great job defensively. High hands, walling up, not fouling, getting the block shot, and then you see the push. And it's Nick Honored, the deep three. The veteran bringing it back. Missouri comfortably with the lead here in the second half.
Men's women's doubleheader to start this season. On the first day of college basketball, the Mizzou women with a win over Belmont. The Mizzou men with a 24-point lead over Arkansas Pine-Bluff. And Jarrett, they're really doing it defensively. We talked early on about the constant energy that Dennis Gates expects from his team. And they have scored 12 points off turnovers tonight.
Yeah, and when you look at adjusted offensive efficiency last year, Missouri was 9th best offensively. They were 180th in the country defensively. So the defensive end of the floor is where they want to get better. Now, one thing they did do well last year was force turnovers. They were very active. They were undersized in a lot of games. So they played to their strengths. They wanted to speed up tempo. They would put full court pressure in a lot of games, whether it be half court traps. They would mix their defenses. And they really did a nice job to force turnovers and create offense with those turnovers. This year, they identified more size, more athleticism. They know they got to be better on the glass, but really with their size and their athleticism, that's going to help in terms of switchability, which will help in the defensive half court to be able to take away dribble penetration, to be able to match up, especially when you get into league play in the SEC, when you're going against the size and the athleticism that the SEC brings night in and night out.
I'm glad you're here to explain the advanced stats to us. It's too much.
Well,
I'm 41 years old. It's too much for me
it.
sometimes.
Really am.
French with a couple of free throws, the first points in more than 2 minutes for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Missouri brings the freshman Trent Pierce back into the game. He's out there with Grill, East, Carter, and Shaw. East the drive, cut off, 3 Lions there. Grill resets with 11 to shoot. Now it's Shaw. Got a fast start to the second half. Grill flashing to the lane, nobody there, and an easy deuce for Grill.
Excellent find by Sean East. Great patience right there from Missouri to move the ball. You ran your initial set, you didn't have anything, and you do a dribble drive action, you bring the ball back out, you really move the ball swings both sides of the floor, and you get a backdoor cut from Caleb Grill. Something Missouri's done a great job of tonight is backdoor cuts and getting buckets.
There's another turnover. Missouri's 5 for their last 5 from the field. Grill, corner 3. There's Carter with an offensive rebound, but it's swiped away. Milton drives on the freshman Pierce. There's French. Into the hands of Lewis. And he is blocked. That's that Cardinal Ritter star rejected back in his home state.
That's that activity. Great floater there from French. But Aiden Shaw, Coach Gates has talked a lot about this year. Last year, he would make one great effort, and you saw that great effort. This year, it's 3rd effort, 4th effort, 5th effort. Great block shot. Get right back into play after that block shot.
There's East attacking the rim again, as he did so often in the early stages of the first half.
How good has he been tonight? I mean, he's just been so under control, doing so many things. He had a great pass the previous possession to find Caleb Grill. He's made threes. He's got to the rim. Really under control both with the ball and without the ball. He's played point and he's played off the ball tonight.
He's got 16 points. Milton cut off by Shaw, who's doing such a good job keeping his arms up. And almost an over and back. And it was. Ware went over the midcourt line.
It's a good call right in front of me and just stepped up right on that line.
Grill's last bucket, he's got 13 points, but look at the pass from East.
Yeah, Sean East, just patience, great vision, the slip screen from Caleb Grill, and I think that's something that's so impactful for Caleb Grill. He's a shooter, right? He's an off-ball guard. Put him in the ball screen. He's a great athlete. He can really move. He can sink those hips and get out of the ball screen quickly off the slip and get right to the rim. Great find by Sean East. Great design. Something they've worked on where it doesn't just need to be your 5 or 4 setting a ball screen. You can mismatch there. They do a great job there of getting a wide open layup.
Pierce, no good from the outside. East there to rebound. And East draws a foul. And they counted that.
They're going to continue that. That's a bucket, good bucket on the baseline.
Boy, if that isn't modern basketball, Pierce, the 6'10 guy, misses the 3, and East The 6'3" guy grabs the rebound to put back in the foul.
And you just you see right there, Sean East, just the maturity and the growth year to year. I mean, right there, grabbing an offensive rebound, being active, and then seeing you have a step, use your speed. After you get the offensive rebound, you're first to the floor, go attack the paint, and then create that contact, and you get a nice call, chance for a three-point play.
And by the way, you mentioned earlier Missouri, the increased size. You got 3 7-footers on this team. All these big guys are going to shoot. Dennis Gates expects that of them. Even the 7'5" Vanover, when he gets back into the lineup, is eligible to play against Minnesota.
Yep, and that's, again, by design, what they identified in the transfer portal, what they brought in with the freshmen. You got to be able to space the floor, and something that they've done a great job in the summers is the skill set development, player development, dribble, pass, shoot. That's everybody, not just guards and bigs. Everybody is really focused in on building that skill set to be able to play in this style.
A hoop scoop on Missouri, one of 5 teams with 3 players over 7 feet. They've got several 7-footers committed for next year's recruiting class, which is currently #1 in the country, according to most of the websites.
Well, and you look, I mean, 11 newcomers to this current team, a top 5 transfer class, a top 25 recruiting class. So you're talking about year 1 to year 2, the jump they've made, the impact players that are going to really help this team this season. But Missouri was second in the SEC in offense last year, 80 points per game. Right now they're at 75 with 13 minutes to go. So something that they always want to do, be aggressive, put pressure, be really consistent with your offensive game flow and rhythm and passing and creating shots for others, be unselfish, but really look for your jump shot, but also attack that rim, attack the paint, play within the system, find that balance of being able to play in the open floor and play in the half court.
Sean Williams in and out from 3, rebound by Caleb Brown. And he stepped on the out-of-bounds line, so it'll stay with Pine-Bluff. I want to mention a minute ago while we were talking that last foul on Missouri was on Sean East, and that's his 4th. So he goes to the bench. So Missouri rolling with Pierce, Honor, Shaw, Caleb Brown, and Tamar Bates. Long inbound to Williams. That kind of an up-and-down night. Red-shirted last year after not getting a lot of playing time 2 years ago at St. Louis U, and misses a step-back 3 there.
Trent Pierce on the floor for Missouri, freshman. High basketball IQ, positional size, really versatile defensively. He can play the 4, he can play the 5, he can play the 3 over time. The fact Coach Gates really trusts him right now on the floor, getting those minutes as a freshman is a great sign.
Bates in the corner, a 3. Great.
That shot is pure, really smooth, natural left-hand stroke. Kind of shades of Kareem Rush start to come to mind with just that left-hand stroke, so quick out of his hand. Obviously, Kareem's stroke a little different than Tamar Bates, but just smooth, in rhythm, off movement, off the bounce. We've seen a little bit of a variety of shot making from 3 from Tamar Bates.
A quick release that kind of reminded me of Shaw engulfed that one. Pierce on the other end lost control, and it'll go back to Pine-Bluff. Quick release for Bates kind of reminded me of Hodge from a year ago.
Absolutely, and it's something where you love that Tamar Bates is just finding his shot and rhythm. You know, he's looking. This is a good pass too. You talk about a left-hand whip pass right there from Caleb. Finds Tamar Bates in the corner, shot ready. Euro State, Hayden Shaw doesn't just block the ball, he just goes and grabs it with both hands.
He's got 5 blocks tonight.
Yeah, his activity in the crowd here standing at Mizzou Arena, giving him some love. The bench giving Hayden Shaw a lot of energy. He's been great tonight, just great minutes, under control. He's only shot the ball 2 times, but his activity on the glass, blocking shots, diving on the floor for loose balls, really been active on both ends of the floor. It's a great sign for the sophomore, who Mizzou is expecting a lot of with that coaching staff.
And he is replaced by the 7-foot freshman Butler, who they attack right away, and Milton hits the floater.
Butler's 6'10", but a good athlete himself. He can also shoot it, has really good footwork and upside, getting his first minutes as a Tiger tonight.
2 freshmen on the floor for Missouri right now. Butler, who's wide open for the stump. First of his Mizzou career.
Why not? Get right in the game, get a wide open dunk, take the nerves off. Mizzou fans loving that.
And Missouri now up by 30. Ware fouled by Bates. Had a step on Bates. Bates reaching, trying to force a steal, but Missouri all smiles right now as the 7-footer from South Carolina. First of what Missouri fans hope are many slams from the big man, Jordan Butler. No better way to start his career than that. And no better outcome for Missouri so far, up by 30 in the second half. The midway point of the second half, Missouri comfortably ahead 80-30. pretty good crowd. The lower bowl really filled in there about halfway through the first half. On with the former two-time Big 12 champion Jarrett Sutton. I'm Ben Arnett. Sutton. Missouri really putting some things together here in the second half. They had a fast start. Pine-Bluff came back, if you're just joining us, got within 6 at one point, but a real strong start to the second half of the Tigers.
Absolutely, the energy's been great. Missouri right now, 60% from the field, 41% for three, 90 from the line. Coach Gates going to love that.
60% from the field.
They have been very efficient, and you look up, and Arkansas Pine-Bluff made a run to get you back in this game in the first half, but they're building that, and they're shooting the three ball really well and taking good shots within that flow.
You mentioned right off the top of this broadcast the energy and the excitement for the start of this season, and a full building for the first night. The upper level was pretty full as well. The students really came in full force this evening, 3,500 to 4,000 strong right at the opening tip. And there's just a lot of energy with this program entering year 2 under Dennis Gates.
Yeah, and Coach Gates talks about how he feels that, and he knows the excitement level. They want to keep building. They know this is a different team, different year. But you look around, a great crowd, students are into it. And I might add, the black seats, the new video board, the in-game, the lights on the floor. I mean, it's big time, and it's almost like an NBA style with the video board, being able to look up and see the stat lines right here underneath us. It's great. The new additions are fantastic. Tip of the cap to the athletic department and what they've done to make Mizzou Arena even better of an SEC facility. It's obviously a beautiful, still looks brand new to me, having played in here myself. But the upgrades, the additions they've made are really high level. It's a great thing for Mizzou fans to look forward to this year.
Video board 50% bigger. They got the lower displays, which we appreciate.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
And Missouri out rebounding Arkansas Pine-Bluff 30-17 as I look up at those new boards. There's a missed 3 by Honor. Look at Caleb Brown. It's going to be a foul, but the effort, the energy trying to chase that one down is exactly what Missouri wants to see.
Yeah, I love that energy. He chased it. He was hungry to get that basketball. It's a 50-50 ball, trying to get to the floor, using his strength. And he's got such a great lower frame in terms of his strength and his frame. Similar to Kobe, we've grown used to, but right there, just a little too physical on that 50-50 ball for the loose ball foul.
But Dennis Gates wants to see that energy because anything can happen on opening day of college basketball. Case in point, #1 defending national champion LSU women just lost to Colorado by 14 to start their season.
Wow. Anything can happen. We saw this last year, with North Carolina coming back after playing in the national championship game, all the hype going into the season, and then to not make the tournament was a rough go.
Caleb Grill, we saw him throwing it down in pregame warmups, and there he is with authority.
When he took that ball, all eyes were on that rim. The speed with the ball, he beat everybody to the rim once he got that ball and able to finish. High-level athlete, exploding the rim, wanting to tear the rim off the goal.
The look on his face as he then settles in defensively on the other end. French has 20. Grill trying to shut him down. He's right there with him and nearly forces a turnover.
Excellent. It's a possession right there. Quick feet, quick hands from Caleb Grill.
Here's a 3. McCauley, no good. Rebound by the freshman Butler. 40 of Pine-Bluff's 50 points have been scored by Milton and French. They each have 20.
Missouri's done a good job of being more active and more connected defensively in their switches to find those players.
Another 3 for Bates. That one a little short. Milton 3. No good. French going over the back of Honor there to create the offensive rebound.
I think Nick Honor wanted that call right there, knowing the baseline officials right there. Hard box out.
There's French again. Got it.
That's tough. Again, we talked about it in the first half. French is really good at shooting the basketball, but being able to take the ball off the bounce and spin there, get to a step back, create his own shot. Seen a lot of variety of shot making tonight from French.
There's Grill. In and out. It's a great cut by Milton and the foul on Butler. Caleb Grill running the floor, throwing it down.
Yeah, this was an exciting play for Mizzou fans here in Mizzou Arena tonight. Right there, loose ball. He picks it up, and he just beats everybody down the floor with the basketball and goes up and finishes. Look at Tamar Bates' reaction in midair. That's big time. The bench loves it. And then the dunk cam is out.
That's the second time that a Mizzou dunk on this end has not only sent the student section into a flurry, but also knocked out the slam cam on that end. Jordan Butler did it also, rattling a wire loose.
And this student section is still there and making noise and trying to throw Milton off at the line.
Just about to say, students came out in force here for opening night. They've been great all night. They've been into the game, been rowdy all night. It's been great for the players to feed off that energy in game one.
And they'll be here for a big one on Friday night. You can start talking about it now. Memphis and Mizzou in this building at 8 p.m. A huge early season non-con showdown.
This non-conference slate a lot different than last year in terms of the competition ahead. You know, you got the Illinois, Kansas, Wichita State game. You know, you're going to Minnesota and Pitt. Those are tough places to play. See Memphis Friday, so a lot of big games coming up for Mizzou.
Wide open lane for Bates, and he took it and threw it down.
We might need to check the dunk cam on this end of the floor in this second half. That was high level. Tamar Bates leaving from the SEC logo, rising up, showing that athleticism and the verticality.
That might have knocked it out for good. Missouri with some KOs here in the second half, leading by 31, and still bringing that defensive energy. French almost lost control, under 10 to shoot. The pull-up, no good. Long rebound into the hands of French, and that's an air ball saved by Grill. Missouri running again. East, pull-up three. Shaw almost had the offensive rebound and a foul call. Here's another look at Tamar Bates.
Well, first off, the effort has been fantastic. All 5 guys on the floor are just bringing it, not even looking at the score, just playing hard. Tamar Bates, the seized part, show that left-hand thunder right there from Tamar Bates ahead of the pack. Somewhat of a homecoming, him coming from Kansas City, and a mean bug right here after the dunk, too. Gotta love it. That bench is engaged, too. What a night for Mizzou here opening night.
18 points in 17 minutes for Tamar Bates. He's 7 of 9 from the floor. Hasn't taken a bad shot.
He really hasn't. 3 of 3 from 3. Obviously, you'd love to see the rebounds go up for him. Just he's such a great athlete. He's going to have to be an impact on the glass. But you look at the numbers and the box scores right now. Aiden Shaw doing his part, 9 rebounds, and really doing a great job protecting the rim with 5 blocks. But the efficiency up and down, Ben, we're still at 57% for Missouri from the field, 36 from 3, and 90 from the line. That's a great night offensively in terms of your efficiency.
That last foul was on Shaw. It's his 3rd. Missouri with 18 fouls now. Bates out to Caleb Brown. Under 8 minutes to play. Missouri comfortably in front by 30. Caleb Brown looking to drive. Great cut, great look, great finish. East.
So unselfish. The ball swings side to side. You just take what the defense gives you, and you find the right opportunity. Good back cut again from Sean East. How many buckets has Missouri had tonight? Just strictly off back cuts and moving without the basketball. It's a great sign of a modern-day offense when you can move without it.
Milton the drive and the throwdown.
So explosive off that bounce.
East. This match there with Plett maybe. Caleb Brown looking to drive. Shaw against Milton. Heavy contact and an offensive foul on Aiden Shaw. That is his 4th personal. Final 7:13 coming your way from Mizzou Arena. Tigers by 30. Well, they call him Scoop. Here's a scoop. Tamar Bates is having an excellent Missouri debut.
Yeah, he's showing why he was the 23rd ranked player in high school. I mean, this kid's very talented. He can really shoot the ball. He's dynamic in the open floor. He can finish with both hands. He's athletic. He can guard. Great positional size, too. And that's something that this staff wanted to identify is wings, guys that could play, that could score it, could shoot it, could impact games on offense with doing different things. And that's something that Tamar Bates has done tonight. And we talked about this earlier. 7 of 9 from the field. Highly efficient. Great shot selection. He's not done anything where he's forced. He's been under control and in rhythm in that offense.
And you know something else that Dennis Gates is going to love? You pointed out the reaction from Caleb Grill on that big dunk and how excited he was. I noticed in the first half when Grill kind of went crazy and had his hot streak, the guy jumping up the most and yelling the most on the Mizzou bench at that time was Tamar Bates.
That's Dennis Gates. That's the program and the standard that he has created. You are not bigger than the team, and everybody is together in this. It doesn't matter if you're one of the 5 on the floor. If you're on the bench, you know you've got a good chance of playing. And any night, any given night, it could be your night to be thrown in the game. It's something Coach Gates does such a great job of. It's just picking the right parts and pieces, pressing the right buttons, and always putting players in positions where they can play to their strengths and learn and grow as a team together. That's what winning is all about. It's something the culture is sustained here with Mizzou and Dennis Gates. It continues to build because of players that bring those same intangibles.
Here's Kurt Lewis just into the game. This is the three. Offensive board, Caleb Brown. Behind the back, Grill from East. Can't get the three to go.
And Caleb Grill's going to be frustrated. He wanted to hit that for Sean East.
They're having some fun, aren't they?
Caleb's shot looks so good, but his legs, little dead legs here. A lot of these missed threes are short, and as the legs and the athleticism gone on defensively, but great hustle right here from Missouri to get the offensive rebound, move the ball, swing right there, and missed three from Caleb Grill.
Missouri 33% from beyond the arc tonight, but 55% from the field, almost 90 from the foul line. This is a team that's going to shoot the ball a lot, and Dennis Gates expects them to shoot the ball well.
Yeah, that right there, just great effort on the offensive side of the ball to get an extra possession, ball movement, sharing of the ball. Everybody wants to see everybody succeed, right? Everybody that's on the floor, everybody that's on that bench, each player on this team, they want to see their teammates succeed, and that's a great sign for what's to come from Missouri this season. That's something they showed last year. It's something they were bought into from day one. Missouri's trip this summer to Jamaica was a great team-building experience for them. That is something you're seeing as well, Ben, here in this first game.
Yeah, they had to get everything out on the floor and see how things looked. Everything looked strong on paper, and they loved how they were practicing in the offseason as Milton draws a foul, but being able to play some games, play against somebody else, see how everything would coalesce once they got out there was huge on that that international trip.
Yeah, and Coach Gates talked about this when we talked to him this week, is finding synergy and compatibility with each other. I think we're seeing that tonight, where we're seeing that with this group. They want to challenge each other as well, and that's something that's a big emphasis in practice. That's the goal, taking your practice to the games. They've had a really good fall, really good summer. That, again, that summer trip to Jamaica, yeah, it's playing experience, and that is good to get on the floor and be in those live games, but it's also to grow those relationships. Again, we talked about the schedule. It's going to be different, and it's by design as opposed to last season. It's something that Coach Gates wants to take that next step forward with this program, and I know he likes these guys. He likes the returners, the transfers, the freshmen. Everybody's been bought in, and that's something that Dennis Gates is really excited about, what this team could be when it matters most once we get into that SEC portion of their slate.
Sean East just fouled out a moment ago. He finishes his night with 21 points.
Is that an I Love Dennis shirt I see there in the student section?
I tell you what, the popularity, the immediate popularity, and you see right there, white shirt, gold tie, black suit. You wouldn't believe how many people have come up to me and told me that's one of the reasons they love Dennis Gates. In an era where, coming out of COVID, so many coaches wear the pullover, the whole coaching staff suit and ties from game one for Missouri.
Well, Ben, we talked about this actually after we talked to Coach Gates. It just feels like Coach Gates doesn't miss anything. You know, he's got his hands and fingerprints on everything within this program, but he just doesn't miss anything. He's always engaged in every aspect of what the job means, and that staff, everybody that's sitting on that staff in a suit and in a tie, each of them plays such a valuable part to this program and to this head coach and Dennis Gates. And Gates will always talk about how great his staff is. That staff is so connected. It's why they've done such a great job in putting this roster together, and it's also why they're going to have such a great success in the future in putting rosters together, because they're so connected, and their vision together is going to make this program one of the staples of the Southeastern Conference.
I feel like if you opened up Dennis Gates' closet, you'd see 12 suits that were all black, charcoal, or gray, 15 white shirts, and about a dozen or 20 gold ties. We are under 6 minutes to play here in the season opener for the Missouri Tigers, who have a comfortable lead on the Arkansas Pine-Bluff Golden Lions. It's been a big night for a lot of the newcomers, and we thank you as we get a chance here on the SEC Network to give you a window into what looks like a comfortable season opening victory for Dennis Gates' crew to open up his second season.
But Ben, you know, I love to say this, in a game like this, it's a little bit out of control. Still 5 minutes on the clock. That is valuable playing time. Kurt Lewis just checked in the game. What are his minutes going to be? Anthony Robinson down here, freshman. What are his minutes going to look like? Every coach right now is still coaching. This is valuable experience for these guys on the floor.
There's a turnover. Ware for Pine-Bluff, looking to drive. There's a three for Kylan Milton. He drains it, and that's 30 points now for Kylan Milton, the preseason all-SWAC selection.
He's been excellent tonight. 6 of 8, excuse me, 7 of 9 now after that 3 and 3 of 5 from 3.
So Missouri's lead trimmed to 22. Tigers having a lot of fun on opening night of the college basketball season. 5:14 to go, 86-64 Tigers. Missouri's gotten exactly the kind of game they wanted from Aiden Shaw tonight.
Yeah, he's been so active and doing all the little things that are going to earn him minutes and be highly impactful for this team. Blocking shots, offensive rebounds, defense with not fouling, being smart, taking the ball through contact, using your athleticism, using your length. You know he's going to do a lot of that, finishing above the rim. Be more aggressive as a cutter. Be more fluent with your movements without the ball. This is a kid, Aiden Shaw, that locked himself in the gym. Coach Gates talked a lot about that. He's bettering himself. The added 15 pounds of muscle that you touched on, Ben. This is a great athlete. The skill set is coming. It will show up at different times, but it's going to be one of those things where Mizzou fans and the staff, they're going to be patient with him and let him work through those things because he's getting there. He's improving. He's getting better, but that process is still ongoing. But tonight, you saw a lot of great things from Aiden Shaw.
9 rebounds, and that's the big thing. And the thing about Aiden Shaw, anytime you talk to Dennis Gates about him, here's one thing that shows through. They are very clear with him about what the expectations and the goals are. They want to play him more, but they expect that per minute production to go up, and it has tonight in the rebounding column.
It's what you want as a player. You know, being direct, that's the trust that Aiden Shaw has with Dennis Gates. And oh, by the way, when the transfer portal is out of control, Aiden Shaw elected to stay here. And I think that's a big deal. He stayed here and he worked throughout the summer, and it's showing tonight.
First career bucket there for Anthony Robinson II. Freshman point guard from Tallahassee, Florida.
Got a bright future here.
Dennis Gates and C.Y. Young going down to their former stomping grounds. And they were assistants at Florida State to go get a young point guard.
And Robinson has been really bought into learning. I think sometimes when freshmen come in, they think right away, I got to come in, I got to score, I got to be flashy. And what Robinson has done is come in and really wanted to learn from Nick Honor and Sean East. That's those two guys. Robinson has been around in practice all the time. He's constantly asking him questions. And even tonight, you've seen when he's on the floor in dead ball situations, he's looking right at Nick Honor and right at Sean East at different times. And good on Nick Honor and Sean East to bring Robinson along. He's going to be an impactful player for this program, and they will need him this year at different times. He's going to play a role off the bench. He's a very talented, bright player. He's a very smart, instinctual player, unselfish player. He's long. He's a good athlete. He's going to be a very good point guard for this team down the road.
They like Anthony Robinson so much, he was named a summertime captain right whenever he got on campus.
And Ben, you know how much of a big deal that is too for Dennis Gates. He doesn't throw that around lightly. You got to earn that. And the fact that Dennis Gates, again, a little bit more by design. I think he sees the future of what Robinson can be as a leader. Nick Honor here, been around 1,000 point scorer, second year at Mizzou, had great experience at Clemson. I mean, he's a world of experience and knowledge to share with Robinson. That's a great thing for a coach to have. And when we asked Dennis Gates about it, he smiled and said, yeah, well, that's something we've really wanted to hone in on, is having a freshman point guard come in and being able to learn from the two that are returning that had such an impact last season.
The baby hook by Carter. That was a back tap by Shaw that created that offensive rebound for Honor. Kind of thing that's not going to show up in the stat sheet. And Honor takes it and draws a foul. No, jump ball is called. And Honor is slow to get up.
Honor get another tough fall where just couldn't get your feet down and landed hard on his back shoulder area.
Take another look here.
A little bit of a tie up there. I'm not sure if it's a jump ball there. We played through that. It was a good deflection.
Missouri will have the ball with 4:19 to go. Pine-Bluff in the midst of a 12-2 run trimmed this down to a 22-point Missouri lead.
I'm sure that was a lot of the talk in the timeout. There's still a lot of time, and obviously Missouri's had such a great second half, and they've done a really good job at just honing in on the defensive side of the ball, not giving up easy buckets, not putting guys on the foul line. Their defense has been very good in this second half.
There's French, who has 24. His backcourt mate, Kylan Milton, has 30. 54. Pine-Bluff, 66 points belong to those two. That one rattles out. Platt the rebound. And out to French. And now Milton. under 15 to shoot as French drives on Shaw. And now a three goes down for Robert Lewis, the St. Louis native, with his first bucket back in his home state tonight.
Good for Robert Lewis hitting that three.
And how about Shaw attacking right back with the layup?
And again, we just touched on skill development, skill development. How many times last year Aiden Shaw go to the rim to dunk ball right there? That's a left-hand soft finish. It's a little thing, but just trusting that left hand, extending, offhand finish. That's all part of the work Aiden Shaw's put in the offseason. Yeah, his strength's coming, but great sign there to just finish with more touch and finesse around the rim.
Foul on Honor takes us to our final break of the night. Missouri up 90-69. Shaw getting it done for the Tigers. In front of a good crowd. I haven't gotten the official number. I'd say probably about 10 or 11,000 on hand for the season opener.
Great crowd, great energy tonight. We've done a lot of openers over the years. I was curious what it would look like tonight, and you can tell the enthusiasm from last year is really carried over to the start of this season. A lot of excitement in this building, and the students have been excellent, as we touched on.
Getting a little look at the new light show with the new scoreboard and the new lighting system here at Mizzou Arena. I think there are still some tickets available for Friday's game against Memphis, but I'm not sure. There aren't many.
If there are tickets available, I would get here. This is an exciting basketball team to watch, and their first big test is Friday night against Memphis.
What a huge game that will be. It's an 8 p.m. tip-off. It's here on the SEC Network, or you can stream it on the ESPN app, as you're doing right now. We'll be back with you on the 13th when SIU Edwardsville comes to town 1 week from tonight. And then that big road test at Minnesota, part of the tougher schedule that Dennis Gates has put together right out of the gate. It's a busy November for this Missouri team.
It is, and you go to Minnesota in the barn. That's a tough place to play. Been to many games at the barn in Minnesota, and that fan base, they get after you, and they're really into the game. They're engaged. That'll probably be a sellout, and that's a good test, road test, that Dennis Gates is challenging this team early with a road test. Obviously, last year was the Wichita State road game. It was a little bit later on in the non-conference portion, but right away, he wants to test this team, and they'll be tested Friday when Memphis comes to town. 3
high major games for this Missouri team in the month of November. Memphis on Friday that we talked about, then on the road at Minnesota Thursday the 16th, and then they've got Pitt on the road in the SEC ACC Challenge on November 28th to close out the month. So it's going to come fast. They're playing a lot of games starting tonight.
Absolutely. Nick Honor going to see Javon Quinterly on Friday night, former Alabama point guard and another 5th-year player.
Honor. 4-3. Gets it to go.
In rhythm. That shot right in front of me, on balance. It's such a pretty jump shot. I mean, his shot gets above his shoulders so quick, and he's got great range and able to get right into his shot. 1-2 catch, right into his shot. For a smaller point guard, you got to get your shot off quickly, get good elevation. Nick Honor has that from deep.
10th three-pointer of the night for Missouri, and another block as Carter smothered that one.
One of the things Missouri did such a great job of last year is shooting good three-point shots. They shot 26 threes per game. They attempted 26 a year ago. Tonight, done a really good job shooting the basketball from 3, making 10 threes on 28 attempts, good for 36%. Done a really good job from 3. 36% also first in the SEC a year ago, that three-point percentage for Missouri.
Missouri has 9 blocks tonight.
And Ben, you know, it's for a team that Noah Carter's had a few of these, and he's more of an undersized big, but it's blocking a shot isn't always about size and athleticism. Yes, that helps a lot, but some of it is just anticipation, timing, instincts, making sure your jump is at the same time of when the offensive player leaves his feet. It's great to see Missouri protect the rim tonight, something they're really going to have to do this year.
Up and under chance there for Robinson. Wilton, hard baseline drive, contested and scores on the freshman Butler.
He's impressive. Made threes, showed his athleticism around the rim. He's finished with contact. He's made plays off the bounce. Really efficient, effective night. Got to the free throw line 20 times tonight. Just really using his physicality. 8 of 10 from the field. Great night from Milton.
34 points. What a way to start the season for Kylan Milton.
This is a great shot fake. Noah Carter gets out of the way. When you're going into size, hang time is there. The focus to get the ball up off the backboard. Somewhat of a double clutch, but Milton showing that verticality. We saw that a little bit early in the second half when he tried to get the tip dunk. That's a tough finish and soft off the glass.
And Missouri's lead down to 18. Pine-Bluff is finishing this game strong. They've won the last 5 minutes. Here's Carter.
And when you need a bucket, you go to your older, wise veteran players, and it's Honor to Carter right at the sweet spot at the block. Carter, great right-hand scoop finish off glass.
There's a steal by Shaw going vertical. You saw that leap there.
Yeah, you don't want to throw that when Aiden Shaw's in free safety. He's going to steal that every time. He got up off the floor there.
Under 90 seconds to play in this one. Shaw cut off by Ware. Works his way to the hoop. And a rebound by French. And a foul called on Shaw. And that's going to be his 5th. So that will end Aiden Shaw's night. 7 points and 9 rebounds for the sophomore from KCK.
Yeah, great minutes from Aiden Shaw. It's 3 or 4 from the field, but it's the rebounds and the block shots that really, and this is a good teachable moment too, right here for Coach Gates and Aiden Shaw. Just that was a shot that he didn't really need, and then tried to go make up for it with trying to get a tie up, and gets the 5th foul and didn't need it. And that's something that Coach Gates is right now talking to Aiden Shaw a little bit. Good teachable moment. Heck of a night though from Aiden Shaw. Man, he was terrific.
Started the second half, got on the glass. The Missouri team that was undersized so often last year is out rebounding Pine-Bluff 37-29. French at the line. And another free throw.
One thing's too, Ben, with Aiden Shaw, so many times last year, thinking the game, processing at the speed where it's really fast when you're a freshman. Tonight looked like the speed was a little bit less chaotic for him. Really under control. They really gelled when he got in the game. Didn't try to do too much and just played hard. The toughness level, that extra effort Coach Gates wants out of him, the 3rd, 4th, 5th efforts. You saw that tonight. Hopefully that's a building sign for Aiden Shaw.
Approaching a minute to play. There's Carter for 3. Got it.
He can shoot it. We know he can. He had great games last year. He's looking to improve on that consistency from 3. He was 32% a year ago. But he can make that spot shot, that catch and shoot shot. He's going to have to this year for Missouri.
And Missouri now 11 of 29, 38%. Almost to that 40% magic number.
And that's where they want to be.
Out of bounds, and it'll stay with Pine-Bluff with just 47.5 seconds left.
Then you talk about the sharing of the basketball as well. Missouri's got 5 guys that have hit 3s. Sean East has hit 2. Honors hit 4. Bates has hit 3. And, you know, we're not even talking about Caleb Grill, who went 1 of 6 from 3. And that's a night you're not really going to see a lot of from Caleb Grill, going 1 of 6.
Honor got underneath French there, and it goes out of bounds. I mean, you look at Missouri's total shooting numbers tonight. 55% from the field, 38% from 3. 89.5 basically. I mean, that's right at that 50-40-90 that you love to see from players, and they're doing that as a team tonight.
Absolutely. And 19 free throws to Arkansas Pine Bluff's 31. You'd like to see that be different. But a lot of that is Missouri has done a great job of just sharing the basketball, and they've gotten open looks from 3, and they've taken with the defense. They've been efficient offensively, so you'll live with that. But really for Missouri, just the sharing, the passing, crisp passing, great offense, and they really had great balance in the open floor in transition as well as in the half court. It was a great night offensively for Missouri, and great to see so many players get involved.
The 7-footer drains a 3. That'll get him to that 40% mark.
That was pretty too. Something Mizzou fans can look forward to seeing. The 6'10" spot shooter from 3. Pretty stroke from Butler.
And that will just about wrap up the night, as it also got Missouri above the century mark. Hey, Butler's listed at 7 foot. Don't shortchange him here.
That's true. I mean, he might have grown a few inches, so maybe since the media guy came out, where now he's at legit 7 foot. So, but the hair does a little bit of it. But look at that shot. I mean, that's a pretty stroke. Feet are ready. Bench is really engaged there. Seeing a lot of the electricity from the bench under 15 seconds, but happy for the freshman to stick that 3-point shot. He was ready to shoot that.
There's a foul by French. Missouri would have been content to let the final 13 seconds bleed off the clock. Fans that are still here don't like it. And not over the limit is Pine-Bluff, so Missouri will just inbound one more time. Fun night for the guys in the white uniforms. Missouri is going to cruise to a 1-0 start.
Man, great night for Missouri. They owned the paint. They won the glass. They were plus 11. They shot the ball well. They shared it well. Great opening night. The fans were into it all night. Dennis Gates is 1-0 on the second-year campaign for Coach Gates. Big one on Friday with Memphis coming to town.
5 players in double figures for Missouri tonight, led by Sean East with 21 points. and Tamar Bates in his Missouri debut with a huge night. We'll talk with him about that when we come back. Wrap things up from Mizzou Arena.